I feel a dangerous feeling inside me, one I'm not often familiar with, one I'm even more afraid of. That feeling is hope. People, I need us all to take a collective breath. Okay? Calm our minds, calm our souls. A couple days ago, Rick Riordan and his wife Becky Riordan posted a video to Twitter saying that Disney Plus was going to make a Percy Jackson series. Yeah, all right, cool. So where do we go with this? First off, that's insane. Not something I expected to hear. What was 2 days ago? Today's Saturday. On a Thursday afternoon in quarantine time? How do you even announce the show is going to happen during quarantine? Like, you don't even know when this shit is going to break? How are you announcing TV? What are you going to do? So I don't know anything about TV show development, what all goes into it, obviously. But basically my bare minimum knowledge, you have actors, they act, directors and producers and all this stuff, they do it. And they do the whole show thing, and then they put it together, and then they give it to us, and that whole thing takes a lot of time and money, okay? So apparently they're in the very early stages of development. I'm assuming by that means that they've come up with the idea that it's going to happen, and they told us about it. I don't think it's cast. Production definitely hasn't started yet. So this could be a show that happens in 2035, assuming we don't all die of corona. But anyway, I'll watch it in 2035 from heaven, hell, or here. So pretty crazy. The information they gave us is very minimal. Basically, they just say, hey, you guys want a TV show? Said Disney Plus would be a good place to go. We agree. The coolest part is that he said, but me and Becky, we're going to be involved with everything. Which is kind of funny. Because you guys remember when that trash they call a movie, the Lightning Thief movie back in 2010, when all that thing happened? I remember seeing Rick so many times saying, oh, I haven't even watched that movie. Guys, I have nothing to do with that movie. They just said, hey, you want some money? We want your rights. That sounds fair, right? Rick was like, well, yeah, it sounds fair. Here you go. And then I'm assuming sometime in that hailstorm of just raging fandom hoopla being thrown at him of why does this movie suck? Why did you allow this to happen? We hate everything, blah, blah, blah. I was one of those people, it's very understandable feeling those movies were T-rash, but it appears the good uncle has learned that, Rick, we need you to man the ship. We need you to take this baby home to a good place because that's what it deserves. Okay? Right, we got the books, right? We have the books. They're good. They're awesome. The Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, taking us to so many places better than the one we find ourselves in right now. The great escape in those pages. But I can't say I've never got over the longing of wishing that we had a great escape on the screen. My TV's right there. I'm not just pointing at the wall. So here we go, guys. This is a chance. I think this is probably the best chance we could have. I'm pretty just rambling my emotions because there's just not that much information to go on. He gave a tweet. He gave a little tweet under the video saying basically what I said. Him and his wife are going to be involved in every process on Disney Plus, which makes sense because Percy Jackson's owned by Disney. And that it's going to start with book 1, season 1. That, I don't actually know. I'm assuming that means that their plan is that book 1 will be season 1. But it could just mean that it starts with book 1 and they also do book 2 in season 1. Probably not going to happen, but I just thought that may be a possibility. Because one thing I've thought about Percy Jackson is the books got good detail and all that, but they're not the most dense thing. So I was thinking you could do The Lightning Thief as a movie. It's not like Game of Thrones or anything like that when it's you cannot do that as a movie. Like this, I feel like you could do Percy Jackson Lightning Thief as a movie, which is kind of why I never forgave the movies for being terrible. But you could do it. But I just think, you know, TV shows for books are definitely probably better. And with this book, I mean, I've already been trying to think of ways that they could do it. You know, you got a couple days at Camp Half-Blood, getting that whole thing, no, a couple episodes at Camp Half-Blood at least, getting that whole thing settled out. You got the Fury, Mrs. Dodds, then going to Camp Half-Blood, going through the whole cabin tour, doing the capture the flag game, you know, doing the whole toilet scene, doing all those awesome things that should be in it that we haven't been able to see on the screen before. Get all that in there. You know, you got good time, good space to do all that. And then, I mean, Percy Jackson basically got an episodic feel all the time anyway, because it's like every chapter is capstoned with a big monster. And that could just, that's an episode. I mean, I don't know how TV works, but I think that would work. You know, you got Medusa, then you could like go around and you could do the whole water park thing as an episode or two with the truck. Could you imagine seeing that on screen? The zoo truck? Okay, I'm sorry. With the bridge, with the Chimera, and then you do the whole thing, maybe a couple episodes with the underworld, and then with the Ares fight on screen, and then capping it all off with the Luke betrayal. Maybe should I not spoil things? I'll put a spoiler warning at the beginning. What am I talking about? Like new viewers are gonna, but you guys know. You guys know. There's just, there are so much pivotal moments that could be done, and I think with this being done as a show, you just have the time to flush all of that out, because it needs to be flushed out. Because yeah, Percy Jackson for middle schoolers, you know, age-wise, and it's not, like I said, it's not super dense. You know, you kind of got that formula rolling, where you got your main cast, and then you got just blah 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 action, blah 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 action, blah 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 action, blah 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 action, big bad guy at the end. But it's great, and there is still a lot of depth that needs to be gone. Like Luke Castellan, however you pronounce his name. Luke, I still stand by, one of the greatest villains, anti-heroes, whatever you want to call them, that I've ever seen. There's just so much depth in him. There's so much understanding in his journey that you can relate to, but hate, and all this swirl. And that part at the end when he betrays Percy, great moment. Not like they did it in the movie, but in the book, you know, when they're at the river. And there's just so many good things that can be brought to the screen, flushed out, awesomeness. But like I said, we don't know where they're going casting wise. We don't know where, like, their location. We don't know when they're going to start shooting, where they're going to shoot, how long is it going to take. Like I said, it's kind of wild for this to be announced in Corona time, because, I mean, we're kind of off lockdown, but like, should we really, like, you know? So I could not imagine them just starting shooting something like right now, or even like close to right now. So, but you know, those big honchos in Disney, you know, they always got their schemes. So I'm sure they have something in the works. But what can we expect from casting? One of my friends asked me, who would you like to see cast as Percy Jackson? I really don't, I have no idea, you know. I'm not a really, like, an actor connoisseur where I can just look through them all and, like, preclude you a great lad to play Percy or lady to play Annabeth or whatever. I can say that I watched my fair share of casting videos, you know, fan casting videos for Percy Jackson on YouTube. I pretty much hate them all, because you all got, it's so weird. You guys get so mad at, like, the ages in the Lightning Thief, which is something I get mad at too. But then y'all out here, like, casting 30-year-olds in your fan videos. It makes no sense at all. Like, what do you want? But anyway, yeah. So I think usually the thing that they do with this, if you need like a middle schooler age looking person, you get someone who's like 17 that's a good actor but looks young, and then you just make them look 12. So, you know, they're kind of old and have good acting skills. Not that 12-year-olds can't have good acting skills, but you know where I'm going. And then you make them like look 12. But that's all I want. I want to see a middle schooler, a sassy middle school godling, with his sassy middle school friend, Annabeth, Seder, Grover, Chiron, all these people, this crazy camp in the middle of the woods filled with middle school and high schoolers that have serious issues but are all awesome, all the same. I want to see that. I don't want to see no 20-year-olds like switching the prophecy to the, at the age of 20, he will make a decision. No, it's 16, all right? I know it sounds jacked up because no middle schooler could ever save the world. No offense, neither could I. It's just, well, yeah. But that's kind of the point. It's crazy, but it's awesome. It's what we need, all right? Because they're not just normal middle schoolers. They're freaking demigods. And I want to see that. And I know there are plenty of good actors, maybe even they are middle school actors, but at least actors you can pass as middle schoolers that can do an awesome job conveying all the emotions and goodness in these books. I know it can happen. And I don't care. You know, we made a big deal in the past about how, like, Annabeth wasn't blonde, la-di-da-la-da, which, like, I agree. I wish Annabeth was blonde, you know. I wish every character looked exactly like they say. But I feel like the age is more important. You know, more than looks. And one thing I've wondered, you know, in the past, you know, Rick's never really that specific on, like, the race of his characters. I just kind of assume, like, Percy is white, Annabeth's white. It doesn't really matter. But all that. But in the past, people have been like, well, Percy could be, like, Spanish or this or that because you've never really specified. And Rick's like, well, yeah, I haven't. I mean, you know, go with what you want. It doesn't really matter. Something like that may happen. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But, you know, I'm just saying the age is most important. It'd be cool. I've really rambled a lot. I'm sorry. This is crazy that this is happening. It is. Last thing I wanted to say. I want to say a couple other things. But last thing I want to say, which is really cool. I just want to give a shout out to Logan Lerman because, so you guys know, he was the actor of Percy Jackson in the show, in the movie. I'm sure he probably got a lot of hate because this movie sucked. But it's not his fault, okay? He's a good actor. Seems like a good dude. You know, he did his job playing Percy. We wish he was younger. But it's not his fault. You know, he did a good job. He did the best he could. He came out on Twitter, tweeted at Rick, basically saying, this is awesome news that the show is going to happen. I really hope that it does a good job portraying the books. Congrats, Rick. And that's amazing that he said that. That's just like such a cool move. Like, I'm sure he's got so much hate, probably has some bitterness. I don't know. But he doesn't seem like it. He just seems like a really nice guy that seems to care about the books and hopes that they get a really good TV show adaptation like us all. Crazy awesome. Thank you guys for sticking around to my rambling. Hope you guys are excited and hopeful. And I hope that the universe doesn't spit in our faces for feeling that way as it so often does. Whatever happens, hope you guys have a good one. Get through the corona, all that stuff. Yeah. Percy Jackson TV show, Percy Jackson TV show on Disney Plus. What? On Disney Plus. What?